Okay, I am working on a pattern for a little girl's circle skirt dress. This is pattern Butterick 5743. I just finished ironing the tissue pattern pieces, and I am about to talk about the option of tracing your tissue pattern pieces. The reason why I like to do this is because this tracing pattern is very sturdy and it doesn't tear as easy. Also, if I need to make any changes, then I won't be altering the original. Also, if I'm using a size other than the largest size, this is the largest size line right here. If I'm using a size other than the largest, then like if I needed to use the smallest size or this size, then I lose everything if I had to cut along this line, because you have to have it cut out, or you will be cutting along with a rotary cutter along the line of the size that you're using. I wouldn't be losing all these other sizes if I needed to make multiple sizes or different sizes later on. Okay, so I have finished tracing out piece 11. This is the skirt back. It says I need to cut 2. I put the pattern number on it so it can get put in the right envelope, 5743. I also traced the line for the waistline and put a W there. I put that's a little matching dot. That is where the zipper is going to end. I did it for the size 5. There was an option, you can't see it really clearly, but you can see the faint outline for the other sizes. I'm not marking a bunch of size on here. I'll probably put it, I will go back and I'll just put it somewhere around here, size 5, so that I know that this is for a size 5. I also traced the little matching marks right there. And there'll be another piece of fabric that'll match up with, and you'll want that there to help you make sure you get everything lined up when you're sewing it together. There's another one up here, and that is how I trace. Oh, there's also the grain line. This right here is going to be, it won't be cut on a fold, it will be cut out completely. And this is what you're going to make sure before, when you lay this tissue paper out on the fabric, you'll make sure that this is lined up with the grain. Here's the sleeve I just traced. It's got a fold line right here. It has a lot more of these extra marks. It's because the sleeve needs to be lined up really neatly in the armhole so that it lays right. Here's the tie end. I didn't even mark the grain line on this or much of the center line in my tracing, because since it's a straight piece and the grain line is lined up with the edges of the fabric, I will already be able to tell how to lay on the fabric. Here is piece 13, the bodice back. I wanted to point out this line right here. This is the center back. CB stands for center back. There's your grain line, some special marks. These are just for matching up certain parts of the bodice or certain parts of a pattern when you're putting it together with the different fabric. I will do number 14, and then I'll start cutting out my tracing paper. I finished cutting out my tracing paper pattern pieces, and funny thing, I misplaced the tissue paper 14. I'm sure I'll find it soon. And while I was thinking that, I was thinking about that, I cut right through my tie-in, and so I patched it with some regular tape. One thing you want to keep in mind is if you have to patch your pattern pieces with tape, that you can never iron over this part of it again. You don't usually have to iron over things after the initial pattern paper ironing, but if you do, then don't iron this kind of tape because it will melt. There's another kind of tape, the medical tape, that I like to use instead of this transparent tape because it doesn't melt if you accidentally touch an iron to it. But this is what I have right now. After I was done cutting out my tracing paper pattern pieces, I had a bunch of leftover scraps like I always do. I just saved these scraps for using for other things, like the front of that manila envelope where I had a little picture that I traced out, or for letting my kids trace things. They get used a lot. The fabric that I'm making the dress out of, this will be the bodice. This is just a quilting cotton, and this is a polyester chiffon. I'm going to throw these in the washing machine, and I will throw them in the machine together because they're always going to be washed together from now on. And I'll just wash them on a regular cycle for cottons. This polyester is really sturdy, so it'll be fine. And I'll dry it on high heat. The chiffon is see-through, so I'm going to be using a cotton poly broadcloth type fabric for lining the skirt with so that it's easier to wear. This is the end of video 2. On video 3, I will be cutting out the fabric.